I am flying solo. Amy is not with me today. She's actually working, so we'll just have a nice, I guess, leisurely afternoon. If you have any requests, put those numbers in the chat. Get your pre-bids in. I will mention I've got a pretty bad ear infection, so I can't really hear, which doesn't matter. At least it's all chat, but kind of hard to tell how loud I'm talking and stuff. So hopefully I sound okay. But I'm gonna soldier through this. I do not have any printed rice paper right now, Buck Mountain Barn, but I have had rice paper in the past. Trying to think if I even have anywhere listed anywhere else, but I don't believe I do right now. All right, and my mom and dad are here. That's the Rela. Appreciate them coming by. If nobody else enjoys my show, I know they always do. So let's see who all we have in here. Hey, Steve, MCG, Rhonda loves to fly, Jacqueline, Buck Mountain Barn, who I just answered his question, Lake Pass Plaza Imagery, Uncle Scoot. Thanks to everybody for coming by. Let me go ahead and get this giveaway started, and I'll show you what it is. So let me start that. So it's these 8 postcards from Greece. I thought they were kind of cool. Would you feel protected by these soldiers? I thought they have tutus on, and then they have like pom poms on their shoes. So thought that was interesting. I'm sure there's some kind of ceremonial guards. Maybe somebody out there knows something about them, but it looked like soldiers with tutus on to me. So, hey, Jacqueline, welcome in. Leanderthal, Elk Vintage, thanks for coming. So, you're going to get these 8 postcards from Greece. Hope everybody's having a great week. Glad it's Friday. Tomorrow, this is why I've got to feel better, because my daughter is taking Amy and I on a brewery tour. I don't know how many different ones we get to go to, but that will be fun. So I've on antibiotics, so hopefully my ear will be feeling better by tomorrow. It's already feeling a little better, I guess. It's just so stopped up, so I feel like I'm talking inside my head. Oh, great. I'm glad they arrived safely and glad you love them. Elk Vintage 11. Let's see what else has gone on this week. Really just getting ready for this show. And we do have Ephemerama coming up in 2 weeks. So it'll be a week from tomorrow, I believe. So we have some great sellers in that. So looking forward to that. Look for post about that on social media, both from myself and the other people participating. And there's always a lot of great stuff. And if you like ephemera, that's definitely a great event to attend, both as a buyer and a seller. Hey, Lindy Lou's Vintage, Gemini Rod, appreciate you coming in. I am a Gemini as well, born in June 6th. So, hey, Lady Tagalong 1997. So, have quite a bit of stuff today. Thanks for the share, Jacqueline. I have quite a bit of stuff today. If you have any requests, put those lot numbers in the chat, or you can pre-bid. But even if you pre-bid, it does help me out if you'll say you pre-bid, because I'll scroll through all the products a couple of times. But I say at every show, if you're listening, whatnot, please give us a way to highlight pre-bids. I mean, it's having to scroll through. I only have 60 items in the catalog today, and a lot of times I have over 100, and it's just hard to scroll back and forth. Although usually Amy's doing that, not me. Hey, the Apple Barrel, welcome in. I do have a ton of stuff in the Buy It Now, including our Franklin Hill Farms. Let me just grab. For those of you who've had them, they're good, so you can get those out of the Buy It Now. We have a lot of varieties out there, including the plum preserves I just showed. We have apple butter. We have cherry butter. I think we're out of the blackberry butter right now. Really not sure what all we have left. So yeah, just check that out. If you just type Franklin Hill Farms or just Franklin probably into the store, all those should come up. So hope everybody has a fun weekend planned. As I mentioned, our daughter who lives here in Knoxville, we have 4 kids, but only one lives here. She's taking us on one of the brew tours tomorrow. So I think we're doing that at like 3. Then we'll get to come home and watch the Tennessee-Kentucky game. Hey, let's go, Guido. C.R. Hackman, thanks for stopping by. We'll get started here in just a second. I know we have a couple of pre-bids. And then, like I said, if there's any requests, put those in the chat. Anybody else have any fun plans for the weekend? Anything exciting going on? I guess just getting ready for Halloween. It's literally going to be in the 80s here in Tennessee over the weekend, like record highs, and then it's getting cold next week with highs in the 50s. So, they say in Tennessee, if you don't like the weather, just wait an hour and it will change, and that is definitely true right now. So I'm actually ready for fall weather, which we've had some good fall weather here, but it's just like going up and down. So, oh, that's interesting. My mom providing the facts here. She had a classmate in elementary school who was from Greece, and they wore an outfit just like this. So, got 10 seconds left to get in the giveaway. We have 7 entries, 14 people in the show. So, you got 5 seconds now, and then this will draw, and then we'll get started with the show. And the winner is Leanderthal. Congratulations. Everything should ship out Monday. So that will be coming your way then. All right. Any particular thing anybody's wanting to see before I just start randomly picking stuff? Or I guess I'll just start with number 1 maybe if we don't have any requests. And then I'll do the pre-bids here shortly. I think I've got pre-bids on the choice of 10 types, which is number 7. So we'll get to that here pretty soon. Then I think some of the stock certificates also have a pre-bid. So let me pull a few things here. I've got to do it all today. Go ahead and just pull these first 5 lots. All right, so first up, just in time, I guess I'll flip the camera around. Y'all probably don't want to have to look at me the whole show. So, hey, Sin City Harbor, thanks for coming in. Do that and that. So get my lighting right here. All right, so first up, just in time for football games tomorrow, although I guess you wouldn't have it by tomorrow, but it's a bunch of stuff you can do with Kahlua besides just drink it. And I'll try to watch the chat as well. In fact, let me move my computer over here where I can see it a little better. So this has a bunch of recipes about things you can make with Kahlua. Let's see what all we got. Of course, you have all the drinks. Kahlua straight. There you go. That's a recipe. I like Kahlua pretty well. I think it's coffee liqueur, I believe. So a lot of different drink recipes. And I think they have some, food recipes back here. Stir-fried chicken, Chinese chicken salad, Cornish game hens. So I'm not sure what year this was from. I don't know that it's that old. But I thought it was pretty cool, so I thought I'd bring it to the show. Hey, Dry Creek Trading Company and Huda. Oh, and then we also have, at some point during the show, maybe about 2 or about 3 or so, we have this whole binder of stuff that I haven't looked through, and we'll see what all's in there. I know a lot of people like the unboxing type things, myself included. Yeah, and it's just, hey, guy today, Dry Creek. Amy's not with us, so it's just me flying solo today. Hey, welcome in, Turner Vintage Postcards. So let me go ahead and get this started. In fact, I didn't even pin it. I'm already off my game here. So let me see. Let me pin that. And then we'll see if anybody's a Kahlua fan. Let me go ahead and start that. Tell you what, we'll do 20-second auctions for now. Then we can adjust that as needed. And here we go. We'll see if anybody wants to cook with Kahlua. And if this doesn't sell, we'll probably just keep it, and I'll have Amy make some of these recipes. Although I know we won't do the pumpkin pie. I do not like pumpkin pie. Now, Kahlua and ice cream sounds good. All right, no interest in that. So let me stick this in the unsold area. I don't really officially have an unsold area, but I'll make one. Let's see, just down here. Now, as I mentioned, if you have any requests of anything you want me to run, just put that lot number in the chat and we'll get right to it. This will be kind of a laid back show. Just take our time. I don't think there's a whole lot of other ephemera stuff going on this afternoon. And I don't really have anything else to do this afternoon. So, all right, we got some negatives here. I think it's BB Strunt Vintage who likes negatives. I'm not sure if they're in here, but let me pin this. And I'm not sure exactly what else in this, but I did find that, I don't know if y'all have used that app on your phone where you can take a picture of the negative and it shows it to you. And if you look at the pictures for this item, it does have some of those in there. We do have a soldier here. I think you can see him pretty well. And then this cool old car. So you could take these, I guess you could take them down to Walgreens and get them developed if you wanted to. Although getting film developed so expensive now. It used to be like so cheap. It's like another car picture, and I don't know if this is like dirt they're standing in front of. That is. Hey, Retro Retreat, Sapphire Moon Lynn. Thanks for coming in. Looks like maybe somebody at the beach holding somebody else. Looks like maybe they're in their arms there. I would guess these are probably from the 30s. Would be my best guess. That one's kind of dark. Looks like they're standing in front of, there's like a telephone sign there. I'm not sure what this is. Yeah, if we could read the sign. Let's see. Yeah, I can't quite tell, but somebody in front of a sign of some sort. Hey, Sue's like 5. Thanks for coming in. There's that one. I'll show a few more, then we'll go ahead and start it, and I'll try to show the rest while it's running. But yeah, some cool pictures in here. Looks like a couple of maybe soldiers there. In some kind of downtown area, you can see some cars parked on the street in the background. I love looking at old photos and just, I mean, really anything old. It's why I like ephemera so much. Just the stories that the items tell, whether it's pictures or letters or just anything. The stories associated with ephemera are always, I mean, that's one of my favorite things to sell, and really all I sell and whatnot, other than my buy it now stuff. Not sure if this is lights in a tree. All right, let me go ahead and start this. We'll put a little more time on the clock. We'll go ahead and put a minute and see if there's any interest in the negatives while we look at the rest. Can't tell what that is. Is that an animal, maybe? No, it's 2 people crawling, it appears. Not sure what that one is. Just a couple of people in front of a store. Thanks for the bid, Elk Vintage 11. There's a cool downtown scene with the drugstore and the old car. Somebody walking down the street. We got Elk Vintage in at $5. Appreciate everybody coming. I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures, flying solo today. Amy is at work. Oh, here's another soldier. I think it's the same guy that we saw in the first picture. Thanks for all the bids. It makes the shows a lot more fun and allows me to keep doing them when we have multiple people bidding. So I really, really appreciate it. Another soldier. And then last but not least, this lady here. Wonder what she actually looks like. All right, Elk Vintage took that one. Thank you so much for the bids, everyone. Thanks for the tags of people. Welcome in Amory 2530, Crumbs Finds 2, Cast a Deadly Spell, Kim Harris, Victoria Gold, anybody else that I've missed. Thanks so much for coming in. just getting started. I am Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures here in Knoxville, Tennessee. In addition to Whatnot, I sell on a lot of other platforms, and then we also have 3 antique booths here in the Knoxville area. We're at Bearden Antique Mall, we're at West End Antiques, and then we're at Granny's Attic in Clinton, which is just north of Knoxville. So if you're ever coming through, hit me up on messaging and let me know you're going to be here. And I'd love to meet you at one of the booths sometime. I've actually had a couple of people do that I've been able to meet in person. And it was always nice to put a name or a face with the name. So all right, so I don't see any requests, so we will go ahead and move to lot number 3. Pin this. This is going to be a bunch of ticket stubs, and this was something I was buying for. I bought this off Whatnot, I believe, and I was buying it for one particular ticket. So I took out the ticket I wanted, and now I'm reselling them. But we have a George Carlin ticket. Looks like it's from 1982, so right when I was just starting high school. I'm not sure what that one's from. Oh, a Rangers. I guess it's a Texas Rangers game. It's either Texas or would be the New York Rangers. I'm not sure which one that is. Then here's, not sure what. Oh, the Jets. Jets, Jets. Ticket stub. And then we have Barishnikov. I cannot say I would have much desire to go see Barishnikov, but. And then we have a Rays versus Mariners from 2010. I'll tell you what, has anybody ever been to Tropicana Field? I went to the Final Four there, and that place, nothing against Tropicana Field, but it was kind of a dump. Then we have a Will Ferrell in concert. You're welcome, America. Wow, $86.50. I have a hard time going to concerts because they're so expensive. I just can't bring myself to spend the money that's needed. But anyway. All right, we got the Honda Grand Prix of St. Petersburg in downtown St. Petersburg. There's 2 of those. There's another Rays and Blue Jays ticket. I think that was. Then we have a Rays and Royals ticket. And then a Rays and the LA Angels of Anaheim. Still feels weird to hear that. I mean, the California Angels. It's just like when it comes to baseball, I still think of Houston being in the National League and Milwaukee being in the American League. I don't know if anybody else. I have a hard time remembering that they switched leagues, even though it's been a long time ago. There's the Rangers and the Canadians. So that other ticket stub was probably a New York Rangers. Yeah, I mean, I'll always consider Houston a National League team and Milwaukee an American League team. So we got Tampa Bay and the Lightning, or Tampa Bay and the Panthers. There's another one, the Lightning and the Panthers. There's the Rangers. There's the Coca-Cola 400 from 2011. I believe that's one at Daytona. Yep, Coke 400 at Daytona. There's another one from the year before. And then there's a Daytona 500 experience ticket. I've never been to a race at Daytona, but I did do the Daytona 500 experience. I think that's what I did. It's been a long, long time ago. It may have been called something else then, but that was fun. So you got all those tickets. There's 18 of them. So we'll go ahead and start this. Just a $3 start. We do not need to do a minute. We'll go back down to 20 seconds. And here we go. My daughter just tried to call. Hopefully she was just calling to chat. It always worries me when my kids call me because normally they call Amy to chat about stuff and they only call me like if there's some kind of like issue. So, oh, thank you, Elk Vintage. Tell you what, hold tight real quick. I am going to text Jenna real quick and just make sure she didn't need anything. So I'll disappear for just a second, but I'll be right back. We want to All right, I'm back. Hopefully, I didn't lose my whole audience while I did it. Got Jenna texted, so we'll see if she texts me back now. All right, so lot 3 was going to Elk Vintage 11. Thank you so much. And don't see any requests in the chat, so we'll go ahead and move on to just lot number 4. It's kind of go in order here for the first time up until I get to the request for the. We have a pre-bid on the choice of 10 types, so hopefully whoever pre-bids in here since it's choice. So this is going to be lot number 4. Let me pin that. This is going to be a 1930s autograph book. Now, the book itself does have some issues. The cover is torn off, as you can see here, but it's chock full of autographs. And it looks like this belonged to Betty Lou Jenkins in Chicago, Illinois. And like here was her graduating class, I guess. It does have a little bit of staining down on the bottom. So actually, this may have been like a junior high graduation because it says best wishes in high school. Let's just see what else. I like in these old books, people always tried to write funny stuff. That one just says best wishes from William somebody. Best wishes, Jack Hirsch. May happiness be yours, Geraldine something. Then we got dearest Betty, down and up read, and you shall see you love I that if you love me. I think that's what it says. So yeah, they came up with all these little creative and funny ways to write things back then. Best wishes in your future. Tell you what, let me show a few more, then we'll start it, and then we'll just keep showing till it's over. Welcome in, Tosh AJ79, Uncle's. My other thing's not refreshing over here. Uncle Scoot. Of course, I know Whatnot will sit there and say you're just joining the show, even if you've been here. So I may say hi twice to some people. When you get married and live by a lake, please give me a taste of your wedding cake. That's from Stella. Dear Betty, I was walking in the lane and came up on a rock which had written forget me not. Doesn't even really rhyme there. So let me go ahead and start this. And we'll do it. I'll tell you what, we'll do it for a minute because there's a bunch more in here. We'll see if there's any others that make us chuckle. Dear Betty, count me a link in your chain of friendship. Yours till something stands. Not sure what that says. Dear Betty Lou, I love peaches. I love cherries. I love you because you the berries. You're the berries. She's the berries. Dear Betty, I only asked this little spot just to write forget me not. That was from Russell. Dear Betty, sugar is sugar, salt is salt. If you haven't a boyfriend, it's your own darn fault. Yours till silver spoons. Weren't they the wittiest back then? And then we have Dear Betty Lou, I wish you a successful future. And these are all from like 1931. And I assume these are all her graduating classmates. Down by the river, there's a rock, and on it is written, forget me not. A lot of forget me not things written. Hey, thanks for the bid, Leandra Thaw. Looks like you're going to take this one down. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. Hey, wild card 1318 2N. Haley May. One over here is not refreshing. There we go. Yeah, I've got it going on my Chromebook over here, and it wasn't refreshing the chat for some reason. Hopefully we'll be glitch-free today. I know I've been watching a lot of shows, and people have been talking about having glitches and such, so knock on wood, we will not. All right, so we'll go ahead and do lot 5. And let's see what this was. This is going to be just a miscellaneous ephemera lot. These always seem to be pretty popular, so I try to put together a few each show. All right, so you have this postcard. It says Marbles Safety Axe Company. I don't believe, this is a modern, it's just from 2001. So a modern postcard, I guess, maybe there used to be a postcard that looked like that. Then this is some kind of Asian writing. It does say April here. I have no idea what the rest of it is. It says 22, I guess that's 22,000, maybe yen or something like that. It's got a red stamp down here. So I have no idea what this is. It's just found in a box of stuff. Then we have this Neiman Marcus business reply envelope. And that is pretty old because it doesn't have a zip code. And it was an application for a charge account. I would guess maybe 60s then. Then we have some photos here. Looks like some kind of railroad yard. I'm not sure. Let's see. Nope, nothing written on the back. So don't know where that is. But then you have this girl here. Let's see if I can read. Yeah, I can't read the sign of what she's standing in front of. This did come out of a scrapbook. Then we have some ladies in a boat. A couple of them have their names written above them. Some bathing beauties there. Yeah, I guess, yeah, you got people in the dock over here. Then they're in this canoe or some other kind of boat. Then you have these soldiers outside of classroom 6059. Hey, Lake Plaza Imagery, thanks for coming in. This Rhonda loves to fly. Thank you. Here's another. This is a tank. It looks like maybe it's on a battlefield somewhere. Can't tell for sure, but it does have some wear. You can see it's been bent. Looks like it was probably in a scrapbook. It says retriever. Retriever is what it says. Thought it said retro ever at first, but it's retriever. I'm not sure. Oh, this is a real photo postcard. Some kind of dinner of some sort. Celebrating something. You got the people in the back dancing, and they have their champagne on the table. Then we have this Souvenir of Chicago booklet. Let's see what else in it. You got Grant Park. Not sure if they're all in there or not. I don't know how many were originally there, but it looks like they probably are. See if I can get this closed. And then finally, we have 100 favorite songs from Orgo's Gay 90s Dining Room and Tap in Hillside, Illinois. I guess this is their phone number, LI4-0065. And maybe I guess this is songs that they would sing in the restaurant or something. I'll try not to sing any of these, but you have Roll Out the Barrel, My Blue Heaven, Abba Dabba Honeymoon. So anyway, you got all this, $3 start, and we will go ahead and start this for 20 seconds. Do not do a minute. All right, here we go. So you have the photos, including the one of the tank here. A couple of soldiers here out in front of a classroom. You have the railroad yard. You have the bathing beauties in the canoe. Got this lady here. You have the Neiman Marcus credit application. Then you have this, which I thought was pretty cool, even though I have no idea what it says. Then a newer postcard, and then the songbook. All right, Elk Vintage, thank you so much. And I apologize, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you weren't on here, I'm battling an ear infection right now, so I sound like I'm talking inside my head. And so I'm not, hopefully I'm talking at a good volume and everything, because I feel like I'm talking louder than I am just because it's all amplified, but I think it's okay. All right, so let's see. We've gone through everything I pulled in the first batch, so let me go ahead and pull the next 5 lots. And if anybody has any requests, just put those in the chat and we'll jump right to them. So we'll pull 6, 7, which has a pre-bid. So 6 is going to be right here. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so I got the next 5 items pulled here. Hey, Cajun Picker, thanks for coming in. Simply Shenanigans. Okay, I don't know what this is exactly. It appears to be a label of some sort, though. Let me pin it. I mean, it just looks like maybe a label for some kind of either food or, and it's kind of looks like it was gummed. Oh well, I'm glad you were able to make it this afternoon. And I am flying solo today. Usually, I have Amy helping me, and like when we do Ephemerum in 2 weeks, Amy will be back. But I thought I would do a Friday afternoon show, see how it goes. It's a little less crowded sometime on Friday afternoon. So anyway, whatever this is, it like I mentioned, it does look like it was gummed at one time. I don't think it's still sticky, but it's got a nice image. Lots of great colors on this. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can't do anything. No, we haven't done the binder yet. I said I'd probably do the binder about 3, so we'll pull that out here in about 30 minutes. Yeah, I am like I have zero creative bones in my body, so Amy does most of our creative stuff. Like she's really good with things like refinishing furniture and chairs, and I can clean stuff really good at that. I polish a lot of silver and flatware and clean a lot of china. But other than that, pretty much the way I find it's the way I sell it. So I did find a really cool piece the other day. If I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, you can go if you go out to franklinhillventures.com, you can see all my social media sites. But I found this really cool stereo that I'd never seen, so I had to buy it just because it was so unique. I have no idea if it'll sell or not, but it was a fireplace, like a mantle with a fake set of logs with some light bulbs underneath it, and then it was a console stereo as well. I think somebody commented on it that Barry White would approve because it looks. I think it was made in '75, and it's definitely very '70ish, but it's one of the like more unique things that I found recently. So, all right, let's go ahead and start this. Like I mentioned, it's got the carp on here, very vibrant colors. Have no idea what this was a label for, but it does appear to be a label. So let me go ahead and start this. $3.20, and here we go. Give you kind of a close up, but yeah, it's really cool looking artwork on this. Got the floral motif down the sides, and then these guys wrestling this big carp. Thank you, Elk Vintage. Yeah, back when the World's Fair was here in Knoxville, there were carp that big swimming around the river because people would feed them. So, all right, I guess that finished. There we go. That was weird. It stopped at 0 and just sat there for a minute, but it finally said Elk Vintage 11-1. So appreciate the bid on that. As I mentioned, everything will ship out on Monday. So everybody should have their stuff middle of next week. All right, so here's the one we have a pre-bid on. I'm not sure who pre-bid, but yeah, hopefully, of course, I'll see it when I pin it. But it is going to be choice. So hopefully whoever pre-bid is here, or else I'll just pick one out for them. But these are going to be 10 types. So it's going to be a $5 start for choice of one. Let me pin this. Yeah, I guess it doesn't show who bid. It will when I start it. All right, so tell you what, let me take these out of these so you can see them a little better. So you have these 4 guys here. 3 I'm wearing hats, 1 I'm holding his hat. And these are all in pretty good condition. Like this one, if you can see up here, just has a little wear. There's the back of that one. So we'll call that one number 1. And this is one of my favorite ones here. So it's this family of 3 women and then the little girl and little boy. And look at those hats they have on. Those are something else. I love this hat in the back. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But you have the little boy and the little girl here in the middle. So I don't know if there's like a mom and aunts or what it is exactly, but some kind of family picture there. I love old tin types though. Oh, and this one does have, well, no, never mind. I thought it was a hole in it, but it's just it's got a couple little marks around the edge. Now this one does have holes in the corner where it was either in an album or put on something. This is another one I love. Check out, I think it's a dog, and it's in front of this mirror. I mean, it almost looks like a ghost dog. And then if you look at it close enough, it almost looks like it's got a human face, but it's kind of creepy looking. But yeah, you have the little boy or little girl sitting in the chair here. And there's actually a lot of ghostly looking images in this one. I guess it's appropriate for Halloween. So you got that one. And then here's another one with some hat ladies. Let's see, are these the same ladies? No. This is a man, and then I don't know if one's his wife. Actually, yeah, I guess that's a girl in the back. So I'm not sure who the guy is, but he's with two ladies here. So I don't know if it's brothers and sisters or, a man with two wives. Who knows? So you got that one. And then finally, hey, Ashley, the Moody Mommy, make sure you're giving her a follow. If anybody has upcoming shows, feel free to promote yourself in the chat. I am always good with that. This ephemera category is such a great community. Everybody just supports everybody else. So yeah, feel free to put shows in if you have them coming up. And then this one here is, I assume it's two brothers, maybe. I don't know what they're sitting in front of. It's like rocks, maybe. This one also has some holes in it, and then the edge is clipped on that one. All right, so you got those 5 to choose from. And then I'll go ahead and start this. We'll just do 20 seconds. And here we go. Oh, well, the Moody Mommy had the pre-bid, so she showed up just in time. So you have the two brothers. You have the 3 ladies with the hats. You have the little boy with the dog, I think it is. And you have all the ladies and the little boy and little girl. All right. Which one did you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 there? Number 3. So this one here. Let me write your name on this. Moody Mommy. All right, tell you what, we'll go ahead and run them one more time, see if there's any interest in any of the other ones that we have left. So let me just run. Yeah, okay, so that's running for another choice if anybody wants one. So you have the 2 brothers. You have the 3 ladies with hats, or no, 2 ladies with hats and their man. Then you have the family. And then finally, the men with hats. Not men without hats, but men with hats. All right. Well, if anybody wants me to come back to those, just let me know. But glad we could send one of them to a new home, although it is staying here in the state of Tennessee. So, well, there we go. Hey, Ice Queen 789, thanks for stopping in. As I mentioned, if anybody has any requests at all, feel free to put those in the chat and we will get right to them. Let's see, I'll stick this over here. I tell you what, let me just stick it back here since we may run them again later when we get some new people in here. So next up, we have lot number 8. And this is going to be a 1964 reissue of a Harper's Weekly from 1864. So I don't know if they were doing something for like the 100th year anniversary of Harper's. But, I mean, it says the reissue of up here in the top. But other than that, I assume it's just like the magazine. So, tell you what, very good condition. Just looking to see if there's any tears along the creases. But yeah, great artwork in these things. So yeah, even though they're a reissue from 1964, they do look exactly like the original paper. Oh, okay. Let's see. I know the Commodore's right. I know where it is, and then I think I know where the railroad employee one is. Okay, well, let me just pull that one real quick. The railroad employee agreement. While I'm thinking about it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so we'll run that next. And then we'll run the Commodore lot after that. Hey, Mighty Annie. Yeah, so it was just it was a newspaper slash kind of magazine from back in it was started in the 1800s, like pre Civil War. They continued on up into the 1900s, but it was known for all this like great artwork. So you got Lincoln here on this one, surrounded by, I guess, Union soldiers. And it has this song down here, rally around the flag, boys, rally once again. There are traitors in the camp, boys, and pirates on the main. So yeah, it was just I think it was weekly. Well, yeah, it's called Harper's Weekly, so that would make sense. Um, and you still see a lot of the original ones too. I've sold quite a few of the original ones. These just happened to be in a box of stuff I bought, and they were the reissues. So and that's why it's starting at $4 instead of higher. But yeah, this one's in excellent condition. But they were known for like their centerfolds, not centerfolds like you think of, but centerfold artwork, which was always very detailed. And these magazines are highly collectible. And then, they would have political cartoons, and then they got some ads on the back here. National Revolver Company, Bridgewater Paint. So, anyway, this would be right in the middle of or towards the end of the Civil War, I guess. So, we will start this one. 6-month compilation books. Thanks for that info, Annie. Yeah, there's the audience in the ephemera category is always a wealth of information. So we'll go ahead and start this one in 20 seconds, and here we go. Yeah, I love the artwork in these though, especially this Lincoln's centerfold, for lack of a better term. Thank you, Mighty Annie. Looks like Mighty Annie is going to take that one. All right, congratulations. And for anybody who wasn't in here earlier, all this should ship out on Monday. All right, so let's go ahead and run lot 50. We had a request for that from C.R. Hackman. I really appreciate the request. Let me get this one pinned. So this is a 1944. I guess it was the Union. Yeah, the Order of Railroad Telegraphers. I guess that was the union that represented the employees of the Grand Trunk Western Railroad Company. It does have a little bit of staining on the front, but for the most part, other than this first page where you can see a little wrinkling, it doesn't. Well, it gets a little bit there on page 3 as well, but by the time you get here, you really don't see anything. So that's the only staining that I see. I don't see any rips or tears. And yeah, so this was just agreement between the Grand Trunk Western Railroad Company and the employees represented by the Order of the Railroad Telegraphers, effective July 1st, 1944. And it talks about rates of pay, promotions of employees, seniority list, new positions, how what 8 consecutive hours constitutes a day's work. You'll be allowed 60 minutes for a meal. And if you're an agent, you work from 6:30 a.m. Oh, you have to start sometime between 6:30 and 9. Let's see. Here's the rates of pay. So if you were a chief operator, you made $1.07 an hour. If you were the operator, you only made $1 an hour. And if you were the first, second, or third operator, you made 98 cents an hour. I think about 44. I made $3.35 minimum wage when I was working. So, all right, we'll go ahead and start this. Lots of interesting information in here, and here we go. Thanks for the bid, C.R. Hackman. Dry Creek Trading comes in. Thank you so much. Pretty cool little piece of railroad history there. And overall, other than the little stain on the front, in really good shape. So, all right, Dry Creek Trading Company takes that one. And then we pull this box of Commodore stuff here. have a kind of a whole little box full of Commodore goodies. All right, so this is lot 28. All right, so let's just see what all we have in the box. So we have and none of these cartridges have been tested. I did not have a console to test them with. I mean, they look pretty clean. So you have the Pac-Man for Commodore 64. Then we have Star Post. Who remembers the Commodore 64? I never had a Commodore. We had the Apple 2E was the first computer we got. It was either the 2E or the 2C. I can't remember which one it was. That's cool. Now, when I was in school, when I was a junior, either a sophomore or junior in high school, I learned to program on a Tandy, and it had the cassette drive that was attached to it, and that was pretty cool. And I remember I wrote a baseball game. So used random numbers to like do whether it was a single, double, triple home run or an out. And then if you hit a home run, it like all these graphics, like it had the diamond in there and all these graphics would light up. It was, not bad for what you could do with a Tandy. Then you have the Super Expander here, which I assume is like a utilities. Then we have the Model 1541 5 1/4 inch diskette. Who's too young in here to even remember when these were a thing? Of course, these predated the 3 1/2 inch disc. Then we have the manual for the printer interface for the VIC-20 and Commodore 64. That's from 1984. Then, here's the cassette unit. So if you're too young to remember when you had cassette tapes attached to computers, you would like write your program or do whatever you needed to do, and then it would have to load, and it took forever because it had to get to the right spot in the tape. And, we're really spoiled now with the way you can instantly get everything. Oh, and here's a manual for some. Oh, here's the Pac-Man manual. Look at the colors on that. That's really good. All the instructions for that. And then also the instructions for, you get 2 of the Pac-Man instructions. And then there was the cassette. We have the Commodore disk drive. So that would have been for the 5 1/4 inch diskette. It's an awful lot of instructions for how to use this thing. But, you had to figure out how to plug it in and get the computer to talk to it. And then you're right. Then it wouldn't load right and you had to start over. And then here's so that one might be, is that another 5 1/4 or is that a 3 1/2 inch drive? Let's see. I don't know that they had 3 1/2 inch drives back then. I think this was just an upgraded disc. Yeah, so you start, 5 1/4 inch diskette. That's what I thought. Look how many bytes you could get on this thing. I mean, I can remember like when personal computers, like, why would anybody ever need more than a meg of memory? There's no way I'll ever need any more than that. Then you'd get like 4 meg and you thought you were 8 meg. Now we're up into the gigabytes and, higher. So, it looks a lot fancier, nicer, I guess. And then we have the Super Expander 64. Okay, so this is the Super Expander was for your programmers. So it extended the basic language. And I did a ton of basic programming back in the day. I don't know if anybody else in here is a programmer, but I started with like Apple Basic, and then I would do like Microsoft Basic. Then eventually I would program in DBase 3, and I don't know if anybody remembers DBase 3, and there was a program called Clipper, which extended DBase 3. It added a bunch of functionality and functions to it. So I programmed in Clipper. Then I went to Pascal, I think. Delphi. It was like Visual Pascal was Delphi. And then, eventually got into the .NET and stuff in later years. So now I program on the ServiceNow platform, write a lot of JavaScript. That's kind of my side job in addition to reselling. I do consulting on ServiceNow. All right, so we'll go ahead and start this. So look like we did have a pre-bid. So let me go ahead and start this. We'll just do it for 20 seconds again. And here we go. So you're getting all the manuals. You got the Pac-Man instruction manuals, the graphics, you got a disc, and then you got the 3 games. You have the Pac-Man game, or 2 games, and then the programming pack, the Super Expander. So pretty cool, a lot of stuff there. And we got CR Hackman in at 19. Looks like they're going to take it. All right. And that is your first purchase from me. Tell you what, I'm going to get back to the nose flute. I haven't done this in a while. See if maybe it'll help my ear pop too. So whenever I have a new buyer, I always play charge on the nose flute. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a nose flute. I know my mom and dad are watching. I got this skill from my dad. He was the master of the nose flute. You know, you had Zamfir that you used to see commercials for. He was master of the pan flute. I am master of the nose flute. So here we go. One thing I don't recommend is sharing a nose flute with anybody. So thank you for the purchase, though. Yeah, you'll have to let me know if everything worked because I'm curious, like, you know, if you're able to play Pac-Man. I miss playing Pac-Man. Whenever I went to the World's Fair back in 82 in Knoxville, I went about 135 times. And if you've been on my shows before, you've heard me talk about this. But my buddy and I would ride the bus down there, and we would pretty much hang out in the arcade area the whole time, try to meet girls. I mean, I did go to the pavilions and such as well, but most of my time was just spent down there trying to meet girls at the arcade. So, hey, welcome in, Old Things Considered. All right, so I don't think we have any more requests right now. Tell you what, let me just take a quick peek at make sure I don't have any other pre-bids. And, you know, once again, whatnot, if you're listening, please give us a way to highlight pre-bids. It cannot be that hard to add a tab or do something. Hey, take a look at that Lim Motlow signed check, by the way. I had another one from the 20s that I sold for $90. So, and I'm always starting the 37 one at $20. I mean, I like to, you know, I'm sure I could sell it for more myself than the 20, but, you know, I like to bring cool stuff to the shows and give people an opportunity to get a bargain. So, okay, yeah, I'll pull that. I saw that pre-bid. Let's see, load more. Looks like maybe it's just going to be the stock. So we'll go ahead and run those next. So yeah, if you want me to run something, you have 2 ways you can do it. You can either put the lot number in the chat, or you can just put in a pre-bid. Don't forget, I've also got a lot of stuff in the Buy It Now, including the Franklin Hill Farms products. And I know a lot of you have had those, and I've gotten really good feedback on those as to how good they are. And of course, I can vouch because my challenge is not to eat all my profits. We eat as much as we sell. So, yep. Okay. Looks like the stocks are the only other things we have a pre-bid. So let me go in and pull those. Those are like 43. They're right here. And I don't know if you saw, we have some other stocks in there too. Dry Creek that were, you know, older, specific like train stocks and things like that. So, but this is going to be a lot of, I think it's, let's see how many there are. It's going to be a lot of 9 of them. So I love old stock certificates. The artwork on these is always just amazing. So you have an AT&T, American Telegraph, or Telephone and Telegraph Company, and you got Alexander Graham Bell up here at the top. This one does have a little bit of like a pink stain, so not sure what that's from. This one is dated 1971. This one, it was stamped. Let's see. Yeah, and here's where they signed it, 1971 as well. Then we have Peel Elder Limited, and that's from 1969. I have no idea what they did, but they were incorporated in Ontario, and this is 100 shares. You know, based on, you can usually get an idea of what the company did from the image on it, and I really don't know. It's, you got like Mercury or somebody up here, and then all the signatures on the back. And we have a really cool GM one, so General Motors, and it's from 1976. It's got the really futuristic looking car here, a truck, and then a train. And it was, I guess, signed in 1983 there. Then we have the South Puerto Rico Sugar Company. Notice they spelled Puerto Rico with the P-O-R. I had some newer ones of these, and at some point they changed the way they spelled Puerto Rico from the P-O-R to the way we spell it now. But this one's from 1957, and it's the South Puerto Rico Sugar Company. Then we have, hey, welcome in the Apple Barrel and DJ Nana or DIG Nana. I'm really good at butchering names, so I apologize for that. Here's the United States Lines Company. This was a temporary certificate, and I guess they would send the engraved certificate later. Then here's Vornado. Have no idea what that is, but it sounds fast. So, and this one actually hasn't been used. Yeah, it says specimen. So I guess this was like a sample stock. But yeah, it's in unused condition. And then here's Pan Am American or Pan Am World Airways, which is no longer around. This was from 1967, actually the same month I was born in 1967. So that thing's about the same age as me. Then we have Pan Am Corporation. I don't know if that's related to the Pan American World Airways or not, but you have this one, the core image down here. There's the back of that one. And then finally, we have Universal Oil Products. So it looks like they were into all kinds of, you see oil wells and refinery, and I guess this symbolizes they're a worldwide company. And this was 100 shares from 1968. All right, so you got all 9 of those. And start at $4. We'll just do 20 seconds again, and here we go. Thanks for the bid. There's the Pan Am. There's the Pan American Airways, Vornado, United States Line Company, the South Puerto Rico Sugar Company, General Motors, Peel Elder, whatever they do, and then finally AT&T. That's probably my favorite one. It's just the image of Alexander Graham Bell is pretty cool in there. All right, C.R. Hackman, thanks for the bid. Thanks for the bid as well. Dry Creek, hey, welcome in, Penguin Boss. Lillian is my partner in crime in the Ephemera and Paperpalooza events. And we have one coming up in 2 weeks from tomorrow. Unfortunately, Lillian will not be able to participate this time, just like I couldn't participate last time. But we do have, I think we've just about got it completely full now. So looking forward to that event. Hey, Uncle Ted, thanks for coming in. I think I already said hi to you maybe, but all right. So I think I'm caught up on pre-bids, caught up on request. So yeah, if anybody has any other requests, just put those in the chat and we'll get right to it. Hey, Beanie's Bundle, got my package from you the other day and opened it. Thanks for that. It was the cool Tiffany box and Tiffany bag. I really like those. They were in perfect shape, shipped quickly and safely. So make sure you check out Beanie's Bundle. And as I mentioned, if anybody has any upcoming shows, feel free to put those into the chat and promote your upcoming stuff you have going on. All right, so next up we have two 1967. So once again, just about the same age as me, although they've weathered 55 years or 56 years better than I have. So this is the C-Scope. It says U.S. Air Force Aerospace Power for Peace. This one does have like some tearing along the where it was folded. Let's see what other stories are in here. So you got the bolt here. Tell you what, let me take this off because I don't want to tear this anymore and it's already torn. So you have the basketball people. You got General Harris is retiring over here. So they have a little ad for that. Here's the bowling league standing. Here's some base Robin Hoods. Not sure where this was exactly, but it would have been during the Vietnam War. And then you've got Pretty Mundy Lee on the back. So there's that one. And then the other one is the Elkie. Is that like Elkie Summers? Was that her name? I think it was. All right. So this is the Overseas Weekly, A Touch of Home, Away from Home. And this would have gone, I guess, to the soldiers in Vietnam. Yeah, so in Guam it was 25 cents, Hong Kong $1.50, Japan 100 yen, South Korea 85 won, Okinawa 25 cents, Philippines 1 peso. Then it was also in Taiwan, Thailand, and Australia were the places they distributed this. Shutdown of all bars threatens Viet GIs. Ooh, I bet that was a threat to shut down all the bars. Yeah, have a happy bar shutdown do. Yeah, I guess this was in Korea. The new government wanted to close down all the bars. So General Jamboree is tomorrow at 11 a.m. starting, and I'm sure that goes all day. Or maybe it starts earlier, but Lillian's on at 11 a.m. Here's Mickey Mouse Saigon. You got Jim Beam ad in here. Gordon's Gin, I guess. Yeah, Gordon's Gin. There's like a stereo ad. Ronrico Rum. So just give you an idea of the stuff that's in here real quick. Then we'll start this. So yeah, a lot of liquor ads. So you have Bacardi Rum, the Swinging Club, and there's a couple of more liquor ads. And I guess they were going to adopt this girl down here, him and his wife. They're going to adopt Lan. The Grim bottle of Doc 2. Do Nazis belong in the U.S. Army? I would say no to that. We fought one war to kick them out. So I don't know. This was in the 60s, so I guess Nazis were trying to infiltrate the U.S. Army, maybe? I don't know. Here's Planners ads. So a lot of really good ads in here, too. You get into the sports section. Hopefully I'm not going too slow. I get into looking at this stuff because I really haven't looked at any of this stuff before I list it. Oh, here's the All-American team. So I've heard of Gary Beban, Larry Zonka. He played for the Dolphins. Ted Hendricks, I remember him. There's O.J. Simpson, back when he was just a football player. Then we have the whole comic section. It looks like it's complete in here. So you have Beetle Bailey, Glamour Girls, Big Ben Bolt. Haven't heard of some of these. Let's see if they have any we have heard of. Well, Men, a new experience. The first water active hairdressing. The Phantom. They'll do it every time. There we go. The Katzenjammer Kids. I have heard of them. Then you got Buzz Sawyer, Mandrake. Yeah, I haven't heard of most of these. Junk Journal started today till Sunday. Then we have Flash Gordon. I have heard of that one. Oh, and then Snuffy Smith. Definitely heard of that one. And then on the back page here, so a lot of cool content, just an ad for diamonds. So let me fold that back up. Sorry. And still got a few more pages. To a smoker, it's a Kent. More taste, fine tobacco, try them. I know the tobacco companies gave out a lot of cigarettes to the soldiers. And then my parents were telling me when they were in college, the cigarette companies would be on campus. They both went to school in North Carolina. So the cigarette companies would always come and hand out cigarettes to all the incoming college students, I guess hooking future customers. There's O.J. Simpson. Yeah, and let me know if you want me to move faster, slower, or whatever. Probably not any slower for sure. And then I think this is Elkie Summers was her name. Does anybody know if that's right? But I seem to recall there being an Elkie or Elk. I think it's Elkie Summers. So, all right. So you're getting both those papers. Let me get this back up here, and it's going to be a $4 start. And we'll run it for 20 seconds. Here we go. So far, I'm holding up pretty well. For those who weren't in here at the beginning, I'm battling a little bit of an earache. So I'm on antibiotics now, so hopefully it'll clear up here pretty soon. But I was feeling pretty bad earlier today and wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this. Hey, welcome in, KD Wildcard. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, CR Hackman. Those will be coming your way along with your other items. Get it back in the envelope here. All right, that will be coming your way. All right, so let's go ahead and move to lot 10. I guess we'll just start going back in order again. That's worked pretty well until I see any request. Oh, you know what? Let's run this and then we'll do the binder because I know some of you have been waiting on that. And then I'll kind of explain what we're going to do with the binder. It's going to be kind of like an unboxing. It's stuff I have not looked at yet, so I really don't know what else in there. But it, just like in opening the top, it looked like there were some pretty cool things. And then we can build bundles. We can sell individual items. I don't know how we'll do it yet, but we'll see what happens. All right, so this is going to be lot 10. Let me pin this. So these are going to be 4 antique lantern slides, and these are kind of the predecessors to the smaller photo slides. These are all from the Devereaux View Company in Brooklyn, New York, and all 4 of these have Bible scenes on them. So this one's Jephthah's rash vow. Mom, Dad, my dad's a preacher. Do you remember what is Jephthah's rash vow? And what book is that? COMM. I'm not sure what that one is. Maybe it's from the Jewish something or another. I'm not sure. Yeah, and this one's Joseph's elevation. This one also looks like it's COMM. But the colors on these is incredible. I mean, if you had a lantern, Dad left the room. If you had a lantern slide viewer, they would look really good. But I'm guessing not many people still have lantern slide viewers. Oh, and I think I said there might have said there were 4 of these. There's 3 of them. And then this one is Potiphar slanders Joseph. I mean, I recognize all these except for Jephthah, but I don't know what book that is. Anyway, all right, so you're getting all 3 of those for a $4 start. I think these are probably from maybe the 30s. Not 100% sure about that. All right, here we go. Those are running for the very cool biblical lantern slides. And they are made of glass. So I'm sure a lot of these got broken over the years. Hey, Lola and Toby, John Chaser, 6869. All right, no interest in those. All right, let's see what the best way is going to be to run these. Put this down here. All right. So, yeah, I picked up this whole binder of stuff. It was an estate sale, I believe, and it's been a month or 2 ago. And, I thought, hey, that'll be cool. I mean, that'll be cool to get and then go through and whatnot. So I resisted the urge to open it. So I really don't know what else in here. It was just, you can see it's chock full of paper. So I guess we will just start going through and seeing what it is. So looks like so these are all letters. It says the Vogue Incorporated, Gadsden, Alabama, 1927. So just before the Depression. Let's see if these are personal or business in nature. So they are on the Vogue letterhead, and it's ladies ready to wear millinery, hose, etc. Mrs. Somebody in Johnson City, Tennessee. Dear Mrs. Jarman, I guess. Enclosed you will find report for past week from which you can judge how business is in Alabama. The post we have made, the past month we have made enough to pay our rent. That is all. Our light, water, telephone, and advertising bills are unpaid, as well as our merchandise bills. And if we have a balance in the bank, and we have a balance in the bank of 35 cents. So it doesn't sound like this company was doing too well. I've taken stock, and we have something like $1,600 in stock. Now, Mrs. Jarman, I have worked for this firm just 1 year, the 25th of this month. Now, she likes to say her name a lot. Now, Miss Jarman, I have not worked for the firm any longer without a salary. Oh, I cannot work for the firm no longer without a salary. So anyway, I guess this maybe was an employee of this company, or maybe it was the owner or whatever, but it looks like they were on hard times there. So I'm not going to read every one of these. I'm going to assume that they're all to this same person, Mrs. GM or JM Jarman, 1926. So these are earlier. These are from 26. Maybe times were better then. So I don't know if anybody wants to read these. Let's see how many letters there are here on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. So there's 9 letters here. I could start these at for all 9 letters for $4 if anybody's interested in those. And just let me know and we'll keep. J. Rashes vowed to win a war against the Ammonites. J took a vow that rabbis thought unfitting. Judges 11:31. Thanks, Mom. All right, so you had those letters. Oh, here's just some scratch paper. Here's more there's more of these letters. I don't know, maybe we'll revisit those and look inside. We'll kind of try to get through a lot of this. So here's the Vogue, another Vogue. So it looks like at least on the top part, I don't know if this is what it's all going to, well, there's some different stuff. It looks like maybe. So here's another one to Miss Jarman. So this was 1926. So this is before the other letter we wrote. I have written you several times and have had no answer. So I am writing you again. How are you? Something. You are better. Oh, how are you? Hope you're better. I am better, but still weak. Guess I will be all right in a few more weeks. So, I mean, there's a bunch of letters out of the envelope here. So I don't know if these are more personal in nature. So I don't know what the relationship of whoever's writing this letters is to this Gertrude Jarman. So now here's some cool stock certificates from 1926, the Vogue. Yeah, looks like there's 1, 2, 3 of those. And it's Pearl Williams had 2 shares. Gertrude Jarman, the one that the letters were written to, had 10 shares. And then this one's just 1 share, and it wasn't, I don't know who's it wasn't filled out. Oh, the back of these are really cool too. So you have those 3 stock certificates. So yeah, if anybody wants me to build a group of something, just let me know. Then you have some receipts or invoices. Commodore Hat Company, New York, Eleanor Dress Company, Siegel Rothschilds. I don't know if this is just an accounting of what they owed. Dear Mr. Roper, I have your letter of April 18th, 1927. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, here you have selections from favorite poems, compliments of Swift and Company. Looks like it's got somebody's. Oh, so this is that Gertrude Jarman. So this must have been her book. And it's got Swift's Pride Soap and washing powder. So a nice little advertising piece. So it's got a bunch of her calling cards in there. And there's the tissue paper that was with her calling cards. So a bunch of, it's got poems, then it tells about how good Swift's Pride Soap is. Some pretty nice illustrations in here as well. So let me know if anybody's interested in that. I would do $3 for the poetry book. Then we have Fur Facts from Plymouth Fur Company, collectors and makers of fine furs in Minneapolis. Looks like it does have a little tear right there. So necessary and interesting information about fur-bearing animals, the preparation of pelts and the care of fur garments. Yeah, so there's foxes, lynxes. Of course, this book's kind of dated because most furs now man-made, I think. A possum. How many people would wear a possum coat? Does anybody own a possum coat? Doesn't seem like the kind of animal that you would make a coat out of. A Persian lamb. Sable, a raccoon. So anyway, you got the Fur Facts book. Then you have this from 1903. It's the Unity. I'm not sure. It's like some kind of biblical book from the Unity Tract Society. I'm trying to watch the chat here to see if I have any requests for anything. This was Mr. George Richards, 2918 Pacific Avenue, and this was from Kansas City, Missouri. So you got that booklet. Oh, you got some ink blotters here, it looks like. Yeah, you can see where they've blotted the ink there. So you have the Stay Yarn Little Company, Realtors, and the John Sevier Hotel Building. I wonder if that's in Knoxville then, because John Sevier is big around here. And then here's another ink blotter. Yeah, I'll run the fur booklet. And unless I say otherwise, I'll start most things at $3. So here's a typewriter, Underwood typewriter ink blotter. It does have some, I mean, it's got a lot of writing on the top, and then obviously it's been well used on the back. So, all right, yeah, let me add this real quick. Yes, I can. Whoops, the fur booklet, not that one. So let me pull the fur booklet. Tell you what, give me just a second to add these, and I'll go ahead and run the ink blotters and the booklet with the calling cards. I'll run those together. I won't always run everything together that people request, but in this case I will. So let me go ahead and add these two here real quick. Give me just a second. So we're gonna add. Let's see, let's do a quick add. We're gonna call this Fur Facts. Starting price is going to be $3. That's going to be 1 to 3. All right, that one's in there. And let me add this other one real quick. Then we'll go ahead and run those. Hope y'all enjoy this kind of stuff. I mean, I haven't done like an unboxing like this in a long time. I used to do them more often, but it's been a long time since I've like bought a huge, like one single purchase of ephemera like this. So this is going to be poem book and ink blotters. That'll be $3 as well. That should be 1 to 3. All right, we'll run the fur book first. So let me get that one pinned. Oops. All right, so we've already looked at it, so I don't really need to show it again. But for anybody just coming, this has information about all different fur-bearing animals, has some illustrations in it. Not sure. I don't think it had a year in it. Oh, wait. Yeah, copyright applied for 1908. So this is from the early 1900s. All right, so we'll go ahead and run this one. Let me start it. 20 seconds, and here we go. It is a cool little book. There's a beaver. There's a wolf. Sable, raccoon, muskrat, opossum, mink, lynx, fox. All right, C.R. Hackman took that one. You just go ahead and write your name, even though I'll have it. All right, Fairfax is going there. All right, next up we will run the combination of this selections from favorite poems. And it does have all these calling cards in it, like Victorian calling cards. Let's see do we have a year on this one? See if I can find a date real quick. I like after every poem they have, how Swift's Pride soap is used. Yeah, I don't. Oh wait, maybe it was in here. Now, don't see a date, but my guess is it's probably similar time frame, early 1900s. And then you have the 2 ink blotters. You can't talk quality into typewriter, and it's an Underwood typewriter. This one does have quite a bit of wear, a lot of notes written on the front, and then they've been well used on the back. This one's in a little better condition. On the front, it does have a crease up here, but as with the other one, it was a well-used ink blotter. So let me pin this one. Pin that one. All right, here we go. This is going to be another 20 seconds, $3 start, and here we go. All right. I love the image on this one, and I'm guessing this is maybe Knoxville. There could have been other John Sevier stuff around the country, but like the John Sevier home is here in Knoxville. It's actually close to where I grew up. And then the Underwood typewriter, that one's really cool too. Like I said, that one does have a few condition issues. All right, T-Lynn, thank you so much. Appreciate the bids on that one. All right, so if there's requests as I go through these, just stick them in the chat and I'll try to keep an eye out for it. All right, so this is, I don't know if there was pages on this at some point. This definitely has some condition issues, but it's pretty cool. It's a 1910 calendar, and surely it may have had like calendar pages at one time. Maybe that's what was attached here. Or that may have just been how they hung it on the wall, because you can see it's got the 3 holes. Has quite a few creases, but it's Pocahontas. So you have the really cool image up here. And does have some creases. Then we get into some billheads here. Anderson, Doolin, Varnell. Maybe got a lot of billheads here. There's New Fashion Manufacturing Coats and Dresses. Yeah, so all this is New Fashion. Here's a Homestead Dairies, 1952. They spent $125.20 on dairy products, I guess. Here's the Media Borough School District, 1952. Here's Leon's on the Square in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Prompt payment is the basis of good credit. Yeah, I guess this was just a like where he had a credit at the store, and yeah, I guess he has to pay at least $1 every week on what he owed. Give me just a second. I'm gonna get me a drink of water and take 2 Tylenol here. I'm alternating Tylenol and ibuprofen, but hey, welcome in, Darling Dover. Amory 2530, appreciate you stopping by as well. Anybody else I missed? We're basically going through this big binder of stuff that I got a couple weeks ago. It's just got a little bit of everything in here, it looks like. So here's a Malaysian hotel letterhead. No idea how old that is. This is pretty cool. I don't know what it is, but it's a sugar daddy. You're old and gray, you're bent and lame, yet on each arm you boast a dame. You think the gals are sweet on you, it's just your sugar. Sad but true. Ernest from Jay. I can run. If you want to wait and see what other billheads we find, at some point, if you want me to stop and run them, I can. Right now, that's not really a billhead. Looks like we've got 1, 2, then this whole lot of this one company, 3. There's just like 4. So we'll wait a second and see if we find some more. So yeah, I don't know what that came out of, but that's pretty funny. Here's some maps that were in here. Here's U.S. Coast Survey of Anacapa Island in the Santa Barbara Channel, 1854. I don't know if that's actually from 1854 or not. Oh, and then we have another one here. U.S. Coast and Geodetic Survey sketches by Whistler, November 1854. I mean, these don't look like they're from 1854, but I guess maybe the sketches were originally done in 1854. But a couple of those maps there. And here's some kind of hospital map. It says Navy, DPBO, Great Lakes, Illinois. So got into several maps here. Here's the main site area of the U.S. Naval Training Center in Great Lakes, Illinois. None of these have a date on them, though, so I don't know what date they are. Oh, awesome. Thanks for the random gifting there, Darwin Dover. I'm not sure what you randomly gifted, but I assume it was probably some of the Franklin Hill Farm stuff. So whoever got it, I hope you enjoy it. That would be Lake Plaza imagery. Here's another map of the U.S. Naval Air Station. So I don't know if there's any interest in any of those maps. Peach butter, it's one of my favorites. People ask me what the peach butter is good with, and I say a spoon. Here's some 1953. Looks like here's some more billheads. Dry Creek. Snowden's. So yeah, they're all kind of grouped together. So we'll stick these down there with that. And what I'll probably do is I'll go get my scale once we get a stack here, maybe make sure we keep it. Oh, thank you so much. I love the peach butter as well. Here's Cook Sporting Goods in Denver, Colorado. Don't know if that's still around or not, but it has the attached envelope as well. Here's the Eleanor Dress Company. This one's 1926. And this one's, instead of staples, they used to use the pens. I can't imagine how many times you stuck yourself trying to put papers together. So these are all the Eleanor, and I'll obviously keep these together because I don't want to be taking the pen out. Yeah, so now we're getting into some cooler billheads here that are older, it looks like. Ernest L. Rhodes Incorporated, or company, Millinery. Isn't that a hat? Is Millinery a hat? No, that's, I guess it's just a clothing store. Or they make clothes, maybe. So we got several of these Ernest Rhodes ones. Some more. So a lot of these. So if you want Dry Creek, I can I can build try. I'm sure you don't want all the same ones, so we'll put something together. Yeah, because all those. Okay, now we get into a different company, the Sullivan Smithfield Company in Gadsden, or no, that's from the Vogue. Oh, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This must have been an invoice that they were sending overdue. So I guess that goes with the letters that we wrote, where things were, they did not have any money. They had 35 cents in their checking account. The Samuel ACH Company, Millinery Goods. Then here's, obviously the Vogue was a clothing company because a lot of their billheads, their vendors were Millinery Goods companies. Looks like all these are attached together. And there's the Conde Cloak Company in Toledo, Ohio. And then there's a packing slip. Here's Jewelry and Novelty Goods, the SM&R Company. It says Parrot Line, speaks for itself. So I don't know what they ordered here. They just got part numbers. And there's the Guntz Costume Company. Here's the Birmingham Paper Company. They were ordering some hat bags. And then the Baltimore Furniture Company, furniture, carpet, stoves, and mattings. Oh, hey, Eugene. Thanks for stopping by. I am doing pretty well. I mean, I'm battling an ear infection right now, but other than that, things are going really well. Here's the Premier Hat Company. Here's a cool one. Tuck away for a rainy day. Oh, it's an umbrella. The perfect shape umbrella, parasols, and canes. Brian, Dry Creek, do you want me to go ahead and like build a lot from what we've looked at so far, and we can go ahead and run the first one of these and see. Then we can see what else we have. Well, it looks like we're down towards the end of the billheads, so yeah, I'll do that. So we have Denison Manufacturing Company. We have the Blum Manufacturing Company. Then there's Miss Virginia Hat, the Kaufman and Company. Yeah, so let me grab the scale here real quick. I'll be right back. I gotta run out to the garage. Everybody hang tight. All right. See if I can find a spot to put the scale here. All right, tell you what. So we'll just start going through these, and I'll start building a lot here. So we have the Kaufman and Company. We'll stick that one over there. And we got this lot of the Bloom Manufacturing Company. And we have a Denison Manufacturing Company. So we're up to 3. Then we have the Tuckaway. That one's really cool with the umbrellas. And it looks like there's, several of these in here as well. As I mentioned, they're put together with the pen, so I'm going to leave them together. So we're up to almost 2 ounces so far. And here's the Premier Hat Company. I think I'm going to keep it at 3 ounces. So here's the Birmingham Paper Company. And then here's this one, the SM&R Company, the one that had the parrot image at the top. Yeah, I think I'll probably end up having more like 3 lots, but we'll see. So, and here's Gunt's Costume Company. I don't think I'd had one of those over there. And let me find a lighter weight one because we're almost at 3 ounces. I'll put a couple of these. We got a lot of these Ernst Roads, so I'll put some of those. And I can still do, I'll tell you what, even though this wasn't a billhead, I'll stick this in there. This was this guy's payment for a credit account. I think that'll be good for the first lot. So let me show you what's going to be in this one. Tell you what, let me add it first. Let me just add a couple of these real quick. So quick add. We're going to put billhead lot, $3, 1 to 3. And I'll put a quantity of 4 just in case. Confirm. All right, so here will be the first one. So we're going to have this. There's 1. We got 2, 3, 4. So there's a couple of these Ernsts because I have so many of them. 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course, some of these have more than one billhead in them. Then here's 9. That one's got several from different, including a letter, this one. Then you have the Tuckaway, which has several of those in it. I think that's 10. 11. So it's like 11 batches, I guess, because some of them have more than one. So you got that one. I think this one makes 12. The Blum Manufacturing Company. Then we have Kaufman and Company and a couple in there. So it's going to be that whole stack there that we're running first. So let me go ahead and start this. $3.20, and here we go. I guess my favorite one in this one would be the umbrellas, if I had to pick one. So then we'll go ahead and do the next stack, and we'll try to go ahead and get through all the bill heads so they're done. All right, thank you so much, T-Lynn. Stick these over here. All right, so our next one will, whoops, this one sure is too. All right, so next we will have, here's a nice, this one's a pretty big stack of stuff here. And there are a few, it's actually not all the same company. There's a couple of different companies in here, and it's packing slips, bill heads, things of that nature. So we got that one. And here's the Samuel ACH Company. 2. Here's the Sullivan Smithfield Company. Gloves, bloomers. And as mentioned, a lot of these are attached with pins together. All right, so we'll throw in some more of the Ernest L. Rhodes. Let me just here's some pink ones of those. Okay, so there's like some of them are credit. You got a couple of credit memos, a couple of bill heads, but there's like 4 or 5 of those. Let's see, we're up to my scale went off. Hold on. All right, I can get like probably one more. So let's see what we got. Well, yeah, we'll do this one. So you got the Cook Sporting Goods with the envelope. This one hasn't been used in Denver, Colorado. So this will be for, I think I can just do run next. I usually don't trust run next, but I think with multiple quantities I can. So we got this whole stack of stuff here. And yep, Billhead Lot 2, that worked. So that is running now. I have the Cook Sporting Goods, some of the Ernest L. Givens, or Ernest L. Rhodes, the Samuel ACH, sorry, I'm jiggling the phone, and then the J. Regenstein Company, and then I think there were some different ones on the back of that. All right, thank you, Dry Creek. Let me just see how much. I think I got 2 more lots here. So here's a batch of the Ernest L. Rhodes. We'll run those together. We'll save these for the next one. I might just save some of these for another like time or something because there's so many. I don't know that everybody wants a ton of those. Here's the Eleanor Dress Company. And this one also has, it's also got the Anderson Doolin Varnell Company in Knoxville, so local to here. And there's another one that's got a picture of their building on it. So you got that one. And then you have this whole stack of the Snowden stuff. And there's quite a few of these. And that's probably, this will be a little bit smaller lot as far as, yeah, because that's over 3 ounces, but I'll run it at 3. And then let me go ahead and run next on this. And here we go. So you're getting this whole stack here. And there's probably, there's at least 15 in there. And you got the Eleanor Dress Company that also had some other things in the back. You have the Anderson Barnell with the nice building picture. All right, T-Lynn, that one's coming your way. And then we'll just run everything we have left. All right, so what we have left is the Media Borough School District in Media, Pennsylvania. It's a receipt of some sort. Here was the dairies, the Homestead Dairies in Chester Heights, Pennsylvania. Here was the New Fashion Coats and Dresses. There were several in that stack. Here's the Anderson, Dew, and Varnell, another one of those. Then I'll put a couple more of, I'll just put the rest of these in. Well, tell you what, I'll save some for a later, like giveaways or something. So we'll throw some of those in there. And then let me just make sure there's no more in the stack down here that I can put in. I don't know what all this stuff is, but I don't know that I see any more bill heads. Tell you what, I'll throw, since I don't have any more bill heads, we'll throw one of these stock certificates in, and then we'll throw a couple of these letters in. Maybe it'll be some interesting reading. So in this one, you have all the bill heads we had left. So some Ernst and Rhodes, Anderson, Dew, and Varnell, a New Fashion Manufacturing Company, the dairies, a school district, a couple of these handwritten letters about how bad business was, I guess, and then this stock certificate for Pearl Williams. So let me go ahead and run next on that one, and it's running. See if there's any interest there. Thank you so much. It's a pretty cool stock certificate. Then these letters, they might be interesting reading. All right, looks like Dry Creek's going to take that one. All right, that takes care of that. All right, let's see what else we have in here. Some kind of newspaper. Let's see what. I don't know if these are like cut out for a specific reason or what. So anyway, was there any interest in any of those maps? Just let me know on that. Yeah, for anybody just joining, welcome in. We're just going through like this binder of miscellaneous stuff that I found. And who remembers carbon paper? I used to love playing with carbon paper when I was a kid. You know, these are kind of in rough shape. Let's put these over here. Then we have a bunch of ledgers. So March 8th, 1926, the Vogue. So it's that same company we've seen here. I guess this is their accounting ledgers. One hat, $275. Gloves, $575, or that was $375. Hats. Oh, you know what? That's a good question. Let's see. I don't see these for obituary, I think. Oh, memoirs. So I guess that's kind of like an obituary. I don't see anything in that one. Those might have been attached together or something. It looks like maybe they were split down the middle. Charter Oak Stoves. The Best Wagon on Wheels. So this is from Knoxville. Parker's Ginger Tonic, Alchemy, Opium. The Buckeye Bell Foundry. So some cool ads here, but I don't see anything about the Vogue. So yeah, I'm not sure. All right, so it looks like we got a bunch of ledgers here. It's just the Vogue checks for March. So this is all their checks they wrote, I guess, for rent, electric construction company, City of Gadsden Water, 75 cents. Southern Bill Telephone Company, $2.90. The Access Club advertising, $7. And I guess this is where they were ordering stuff, $173. So, see, looks like each of these may represent a month, maybe. So, got that. Their store expenses from 1926. I'm not going to. March 1st, 1926. Yeah, here's another list of all the checks they wrote for June of 26. Yeah, I guess these are just their accounting ledgers of different things. So you got all those. Welcome in, crime funds too. Yeah, I mean that's probably why they, were writing letters that they only had 35 cents in their checking accounts. So here's checks for April 26th, and maybe there's sale. Let's see. Let's just look at this real quick. So here's the checks they wrote. Here's personal expenses: room rent $15, dental work $6.50, and meals $15.65. This looks like where they ordered merchandise, so gloves, hats, hose. Maybe the revenue's back in here somewhere. Let's just see. Here's store expense: sales lady, porter, working, washing powder, rubber for window cleaner. Yeah, so far I'm just seeing a bunch of expenses. Here's some more clothes they ordered, I guess merchandise. There's more store expense. And of course, maybe their revenue was somewhere else because that's more merchandise. I mean, I guess some of these could be sales and not orders. They had $2 cash on hat, maybe. Yeah, this is obviously several months worth of stuff because it's just the same stuff repeated over and over. So yeah, I don't see any revenue stuff. Oh wait, here we go. Total sales, $86.55. So maybe they did have a few sales there. So anyway, we won't. So you got a bunch of these. I don't know if there's any interest in any ledgers. It looks like they're all pretty similar, just different months. For the Vogue. Well, I don't guess we've found anything earth-shattering in this binder so far, but there's still been some cool stuff. And then here's another list of checks just written on this letterhead. I wonder what these are. Let's see. Oh, just more sent to Gadsden, Alabama. Just more ledgers. More ledgers. What's this say? Increases in price always look arbitrary and unjustified, but something inform us that it is suicidal to continue the former pricing or something. They were increasing the retail price 50 cents. Huh. I guess there were a few more billheads once we got down in here. Here's the Fancy Leather Company. George T. Horn Incorporated. The Rhodes Hat Company. So this is okay. So maybe this, let's see, this is from 1927. Dear Mrs. Jarman, I have your telegram and I'm filing contest today of the claim filled by Miss Estes. They're going to take her testimony. In regard to the audit of the books, I regret to say that there's not enough books to audit. The trustee has all the books there, and as you can see them to your satisfaction. So some kind of legal something going on. Here we go. Okay. So, the company went bankrupt, it looks like. So it says the Vogue was organized as a partnership in 1926, and the owners were Mrs. Jarman and myself. We had $500. I put in 50, and Miss Jarman put in the merchandise. We then incorporated the business on 1926, and we took stock. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so this is just a letter, I guess, about their assets and stuff. And here's all their inventory. And I guess they're just trying to figure everything out for bankruptcy there. The company didn't last very long, though. I do not know whether the Vogue of Gadsden owes you anything or not. They have been recently been closed under a constable's levy for the non-payment of rent. So, yeah, they did not do well. So, here's Reliance Cloak and Suit Company. Yeah, so now it looks like we're into all this stuff where their companies have written letters asking for money, basically. They owe the Eleanor Dress Company $117 and the Reliance Cloak and Suit Company $25.50. We are therefore holding you responsible in this account. However, we trust that you will not lose any money in this transaction. We would not have considered shipping to the Vogue under any circumstances of what responsibility they have. So, poor ladies, they started this company and they just almost immediately went under. Yeah, so we're seeing some of the same companies that shipped them stuff and now are sending them like attorney letters. Anybody have any interest in any of these like letterheads that talk about the bankruptcy or anything? It's Happy New Year. You owe us money. Yeah, so basically every one of these companies that we saw billheads for is now sending them letters about owing them money, it looks like. So something about having meetings because they had stock in the company. More of that. Here's something from the Southern Ice Cream Company. Maybe they owed them money too. It's just an envelope though. Yeah, and see, here's letters that are later, 1927. So these may have to do with the bankruptcy. Here's District Court of the United States in Alabama. Yeah, so this is a bunch of legal documents about their bankruptcy as well. I guess it's stuff that was filed in the court, and that's it. So, tell you what, this one's pretty cool. So this is from the District Court of the U.S., and it looks like it's... Yeah, it's basically copies of all the different letters and stuff, it looks like. So let me tell you what, I'll run this one first, and then we'll do something with those, because this one weighs... It's going to be under a pound, but it's heavier than 3 ounces just by itself. So that one's going to be 4 to 7 ounces. So let me add that one real quick. Sure, since you asked first, T. Lynn, you can have it. I'll stick it with your stuff. All right, so this is going to be quick ad, and we will just call this court documents, district court documents. And $3, 4 to 7. Oops. All right, let me pin this one. So yeah, this one would probably be some interesting reading. I'm not exactly sure what else in there, but it looks like it was probably, stuff here. Let's just see what. Notice to creditors in the matter of the Vogue bankrupt. So it must have been a meeting of all the creditors. So let me put that back in there right where it was. And let me go in and start this. All right, here we go. So a bunch of different letters probably make some interesting reading for somebody. There's a ton of stuff associated with that. And it's kind of cool. It's got the District Court of the United States postcard included with it. All right. Looks like Dry Creek. It's going to take that one. All right, let's see if we can build another one here real quick. I'll just pull some of the stuff related to the bankruptcy here. And this one is going to have some pretty cool, like letterheads and billhead type documents in it. This one will be a little bit heavier probably too, just because it's going to have a lot in it. I don't want to get up to a pound though. Although, can you check your payment there? Must not like you doing all this small purchases. Dry Creek. Put a few more in here. All right, so this is going to be a pretty big stack of stuff related to the bankruptcy here. Let me just add this one. I got your payment now. Thank you for that. This one's going to be 12 to 15 ounces. Oh, made a mess of my area here. All right, let me show you what else in this one. Let me pin it. So there's actually quite a bit of cool stuff in this one. So we have the Child's Specialty House, homemade fussy frocks in Union, Tennessee. So that maybe won't be just like a billhead there. Then here's where something that had the thing about them raising their price on it. And this is from the Greenwood Company in Chicago. Then here's the Rhodes Hat Company. And they basically, I must say, I do not understand your attitude in this matter. I am anxious to get this matter settled and off my mind before the coming season opens. I cannot look after that business in my own and would like to let me know by return mail if either parties want to buy my interest. Well, anyway, something about buying an interest in the Vogue. So, got that. Then we got the George T. Horn Company. There. Here's the Fancy Leather Goods Company. Several in that batch. Then we have Was evidently made, of which I am president. So they're basically trying to come after somebody's personal money to pay a debt of the Vogue. And then this is more. I've been advised by Miss Daisy Estes that you desire to buy my interest in the Vogue Gadsden store. So yeah, just a lot of correspondence here about the bankruptcy and maybe buying somebody out. Then plus some like letterhead type letterhead and billhead type stuff. So that's like a letter, like a court filing type letter. Then you have another one of these tuck away letterheads with a letter written on it. And there's George T. Horn. So this is a pretty big lot here. And there's the Reliance Cloak and Suit Company. So a lot of good illustrations on the letterhead. Then here's a stamped envelope. Here's the Ernest L. Rhodes Company. This is the one that has the Happy New Year stamped. It's like, Happy New Year, you owe us money. What'd that say? Yeah, these are pretty, they must not have been paying any bills because these are pretty direct. And Southern Ice Cream Company envelope. And then you have some different, these look like maybe they're just envelopes. Maybe the letters that were in them are included somewhere else. And then you have statement of merchandise shipped to the Vogue. So I guess this is everything they shipped to them. They're trying to get their money back. All right, so you got this huge stack here of stuff. Well, if I can get it all back in here in the camera view. All right, so we'll go ahead and start this. Oh, really? Huh. Oh, sorry, Funteeks. I probably wasn't far enough out. So yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff related to the bankruptcy of the Vogue. Now I'm going to have to go back and read all those letters that were the first. So you got letterhead, billheads, letters requesting money. You got the one on the tuckaway umbrella. So we'll start all that at $3 though. Huh, that's weird, Dry Creek. I know it did process the payment for the last one. So, but yeah, I know for some reason banks don't like all these little, payment amounts that come through. All right, we'll go ahead and start this, and here we go. See if there's any interest. Elk Vintage comes in for $3. Thank you so much. There's a lot of stuff in this one. All right, appreciate the bids. And that will go in your stack of stuff, Elk Vintage. Well, hopefully everybody enjoyed going through that. It wasn't quite as good as my auction I had, last year when I had the 4 big boxes of stuff. But there was some cool stuff in there, I guess. All right, so just real quick, was there any interest in the stuff we have left here? That'd be, you have all these different maps. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the fact that they tried to start a business in 1927. So you have some U.S. Naval Training Center, Air Station. Looks like some maps there. I don't know what year they're from. And this must be the Naval Hospital grounds here. So you had those. Then you had the says 1854, although, like I mentioned, I don't know that these are from 1854, but there's some kind of U.S. official printing. These were sketches by Whistler. And then here's a U.S. Coast Survey of Anacapa Island in Santa Barbara. We have the Sugar Daddy print, then just letterhead, this Pocahontas calendar, some letters, and then the 2 stock certificates we got left from the Vogue, and then this Unity songbook, or not songbook, like a Bible essence, it looks like. So if there's any of that, and then you had all these letters from the Vogue there. So if there's any of that stuff anybody wants me to run, just let me know. Yeah, if you want me to run the Sugar Daddy print, Ash W, I mean, it would be a $3 start. So Sugar Daddy print and Whistler, sure, I can do those. If I'm going to run those together, I'll probably start them at 4 if that's okay. So, so you got that one, and then where's the Whistler? Yep. So you got those 2. Like I said, this says November 1854, but I mean, it could be that old, but my guess is it's like some kind of reprint or something from like the U.S. I don't know if that's Navy or what. I mean, it could be 1854, but I don't want to represent it as it is because I don't know for sure. All right, so let me add those real quick. Add, quick add. Sugar Daddy and Whistler. That's going to be 1 to 3 ounces. Oh, hey, Ash. All right, so I'm going to run both of these. So we have the Sugar Daddy and the sketches by Whistler. And here we go. I love this one here. You're old and gray, you're bent and lame, yet on each arm you boast a dame. You think the gals are sweet on you, it's just your sugar, sad but true. And then you have this one that's got, I guess this is the guy. I wonder if this is the person who painted Whistler's mother. Yeah, James McNeill Whistler. Oh, okay. So he worked for the Coast and Geodetic Survey. These sketches represent the initial results on copper of Whistler's fancy. So yeah, before he was painting his mother, he was doing these sketches for the U.S. Coast and Geodetic Survey. All right, those are coming your way. Everything should ship out on Monday. Sure. I'll run the letters. Let's see, this is Ash W. Make sure I grab them all here. I think that's all of them. I'm dropping them. All right, let me see how much these weigh real quick. I don't think it'll matter to you, Al, because you bought so much. You're probably at the 835. Yeah, so these will be 4 to 7. So there's going to be a bunch of these letters in here. And if you weren't here when we first started this, we read one of them, and it was pretty much just, I mean, I think they had just started this company, the Vogue, in Gadsden, Alabama, and they were already writing letters about how bad they were doing. They only had 35 cents in their account. And then as we saw, like in 1927, they ended up going bankrupt. So, but yeah, these are all envelopes with handwritten letters. Well, this one here, yeah, it's another batch of, you can see it's got the remnants of a rubber band stuck on it. And look at all the stamps they put on that one. About Miss Neely, thinks she has sold my interest in the store. Says she paid in $400 after. So she must have wrote a note about what each one. So this one's Miss Neely wants to buy stock. Miss Estes wants oh, Miss Estes writes she borrowed money from the bank. About Miss Hammond and Conde. I think we saw a Conde letterhead or billhead earlier. So that's cool. They wrote about salary and Miss Neely wanting to buy me out. Important. Okay, it says she has $1,300 in the business. Work in enough to pay rent, something like $1,600 stock January 1st about her salary. And then here's some here. Not sure what those are. So anyway, you're going to get all these. Let me get them added. Since there's so many, I'll probably start those at 4 as well. So we're going to call this lot of Vogue letters. That was 4 to 7. And welcome anybody who's just joining. I haven't been doing a good job of keeping up with the chat as we've gone through this stuff. So let me pin this. All right, so you saw what all there is. There's quite a few of these. So we'll go ahead and run this one. And here we go. Probably make some pretty interesting reading. I bet some of them get a little contentious because it sounds like everybody was trying to look out for their own interest. All of them are written on, I think, Vogue letterhead. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we just about sold everything in that binder. Tell you what, let me see how much everything I have left weighs, because I may just do a miscellaneous lot so we can be done with it. Oh yeah, it's just 4 to 7. So let me get these written, and then we'll just run this last grouping of stuff that I have. Let me go ahead and add it real quick, and then we'll be finished with that stuff. So in the meantime, if I'll just run it as the lot Elk Vintage. I didn't see your thing before I was talking, so we'll just call this Vogue remaining items. That one was 4 to 7. All right. So in this last lot from the stuff, we have this Unity Bible Stories or Bible Lessons, I guess. It's from 1903, and it was from the Unity Tract Society in Kansas City, Missouri. And so you got Bible lessons. Looks like you does have some of the pages are dog-eared. So you got that. You have 2 of these stock certificates, which, as you notice, they do have a little bit of wear to them. Then it's some kind of accounting of stuff here from O.B. Roper Attorney in Gadsden, Alabama. Then this is also that same attorney here. So more stuff related to the bankruptcy. Then you have this Pocahontas calendar from Charles E. Goodwin in Westminster, Maryland. As mentioned, this one does have some wear. If you look on the back, you can see, I guess that's how they had it attached to the wall. And I don't know if there was actually a calendar on here at one point or not, but it's still a cool image, even with the creasing and stuff. Then you have this Mayasan Hotel. Looks like maybe it's in Japan. Then you have you have the map here that's so this must be, so this is another Whistler map. So he must have drawn stuff like this for the U.S. Coast Survey before he became a famous painter. So you got that one. Then you have these different Navy maps, like that's of the Naval Hospital. This one's the station map guide of the U.S. Naval Air Station in Glenview, Illinois. And then finally, this one's the main site area of the U.S. Naval Training Center in the Great Lakes, Illinois. So you get this whole stack of stuff, and we'll go ahead and start at $4. And here we go. Those maps are pretty cool, especially the Whistler one. Yeah, so if anybody sees anything else they want me to run in the catalog, I'll check real quick for any pre-bids. And then after that, I'll probably wrap it up just because my ear's starting to like bother me a little more. I think I'm getting close to the end of my ibuprofen run. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming and sticking with me for a couple of hours. All right, that one's going to Elk Vintage as well. And as a reminder, we have Ephemerama coming up here in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from tomorrow. I don't have the seller list in front of me yet, but I know it's a good group as usual. And that'll kick off. I think it starts at 10:45 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Let's see. So I'll tell you what, let me get my tripod and turn the camera around again. And if you see anything you want me to run in my store, let me know and I'll get right to that. Otherwise, let me do one last check for pre-bids here. Make sure we don't have any. And if there's no request for pre-bids, we'll probably call it a day, see if there's anybody we want to go raid. Appreciate all the purchases everybody made. Appreciate the random gifting, Darlin Dover. Oh, we do have a pre-bid on lot 25, so let me go and pull that one. So that'll be this. Let me just, right, that'll be this. And then let me make sure there's no more. Hey, welcome in Blueberry, Grove, Harlot, Pickle Putts. Welcome in SMB, B Durham, anybody else I missed. Probably getting close to the end now. We've been going at it for a while. Just got finished looking at a kind of a whole binder of unsearched items, which was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed that. I like looking through stuff like that. You never know what you'll find. Probably wasn't the most exciting unboxing I've ever done, but it was still some nice stuff. I just wished I could find another like lot of stuff like I did the one time when I had the like 4 huge boxes of ephemera. For any of you who weren't around then, I found 4 boxes that were each, I think they were like 17 by 19 by 20 something. I mean, we're talking huge moving boxes, and every one of them was just jam packed to the top with ephemera. So we opened them live on Whatnot. It was really kind of right after I started on Whatnot last year, and talking about, I think we ended up being a 3-night event, and there was some really cool stuff in there. All kind of like antique cigarette cards going back to the like early 1900s, and I don't even remember what all there was, but it was a ton of stuff. All right, looks like the only pre-bid we had was for these foreign bills, so we'll go ahead and run those. And then in the meantime, if anybody has any last minute requests, put those in the chat. Otherwise, we'll go raid somebody. So yeah, try to stick around at least until we do the raid. I know we've dropped down since we finished, since I said I was finishing, so I'm just going to keep the camera here for these. So all these have some wear. They've obviously been used, but they're still cool nonetheless. Like here's one from Russia. You see the CCP there. Here's another one from Russia. So you got 2 of that one. This one looks like it's from maybe Hungary. Yeah, it's got Budapest there on it. And there's the back. Oh, let me go ahead and pin this one. In case whoever pre-bid on it's not here, they'll know we're starting it. All right. And there's 40 of these in here. Like I said, they all have definitely some wear. I think this is the last of the foreign currency. For any of you who've come to my past shows, I've been running this periodically for a while, and I think this may have been the last bit of it. Let's see, this one is Turkey, I think. I'm not sure what this one is. This one is Yugoslavia. I almost said Yugoslavia. So that one's actually in good shape. Oh, this one's nice. It's another Yugoslavian. It's got the nice image of a ship on it there. Here's one from Hungary, I think. It's got the horse on the back. I'll show a few more, then we'll go ahead and start it, put a minute on the clock, and just let it run from there. These all have some really cool artwork on it. All right, tell you what, I am going to go ahead and start this for a minute, and we'll see if we can get through it all. All right. Thank you for the bid. Macho Man Randy Savage. And like I said, there's 40 of these in here, and you can see they all have some, or most of them have some condition issues. There were a few that were like in really good condition. Here's another Russian one. Another Yugoslavian. Another Hungarian. I think this is the same one we've seen with the cow. Oh, this one's from Nigeria. All right. Thank you so much, Penny Cove. And then there's still this many to look at, so you'll get to see those when they come to you. And all this will ship out on Monday. All right, so it doesn't look like I have any other requests. So I think we will call it a day. And let me see if I can find somebody to raid. But I really appreciate everybody stopping by. Hope you had fun looking at the stuff. Oh, thank you, Elk Vintage. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, I don't know if you've ever had ear infections. It's just like, it's not hurting so much now. It's just like my ears stopped up and I can't hear. And it's just kind of, just feel miserable, I guess, from that standpoint. But yeah, the pain, the antibiotics seem to be getting the pain away. And like I said, hopefully I'll feel much better by tomorrow. So I'm feeling good to go on the brewery tour with my daughter and wife. So, all right, let's see who we got to raid here. Give me just a second. Yeah, I've got 10 people in here still, so if you can stick with me. Tell you what, let's go raid Dave F. Brother. I know he's another ephemera seller. He always has good postcards and such, so we'll raid him. And here we go. Thanks for everybody coming by, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Ephemerama.